Hi, and welcome to Scout Smarts. My name is Joseph Dubrovic, and I'm a scout with Troop 19 here in Normal, Illinois. Scout Smarts is a series of videos that I and many of my friends and volunteers have worked together to create, to show you, the kids of the Boys and Girls Club, and anybody else who may be watching this video, some interesting scouting principles and skills that anybody can use, even if you never become a scout. Over the next 8 videos, I hope that you'll learn something useful and interesting that you can take home and show to your friends and family. Now, without further ado, let's start with the first episode. Today, we're going to learn some basic things about scouting, including 2 of the founding principles of scouting that are important to know no matter who you are. Scouting was founded in 1908 in England by Robert Baden-Powell. He wanted to take skills like wilderness survival and character building that he learned in the English military and make them relevant to civilian life, specifically for the purposes of training boys to join the military once they got older. Scouting in America was founded 2 years later, in 1910, by W.D. Boyce, as a program to teach young boys self-reliance, citizenship, outdoor skills, and much more. Since then, Scouting in the U.S. has helped build the characters and the knowledge of millions of young people, and they recently expanded to include girls in their programs, so now everyone has access to this excellent organization. 2 of the very first things that every new scout learns are the Scout Oath and Law. The Scout Oath and Law are 2 pledges that have been memorized and said repeatedly by every scout for over 100 years, and they make up the foundation of what scouting is. But even if you don't become a scout, the Scout Oath and Law are still filled with useful information that you can use to become a better and more well-rounded person. And trust me, they're worth taking a look at. The first is the Scout Oath, which goes like this. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, and to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. The first thing we say in the Scout Oath is perhaps the most important. You may have heard the phrase Scout's Honor used by somebody you know, or in a movie or TV show. When you say, on my honor, in any situation, you are committing to the statement that you're making. Your honor is the respect that others have for you, and you for yourself. It is a very important thing, and a very important commitment to make. An important thing to remember in scouting and in life is to always do your best. Nobody expects you to be perfect at everything you do. The important thing is that you try your hardest. Doing your duty to God and your country means to do what is expected of you in terms of religion and citizenship. Here, the God can refer to any religion that you and your family believe in. If you're not a part of religion, it can also mean a higher moral purpose to do the right thing, even if it's difficult. Duty to your country means to be a good citizen by participating and knowing your rights and responsibilities, which we'll talk about in a later video. This part is pretty easy to understand. Follow the points of the Scout Law, which we'll talk about in just a few minutes. A scout commits to serving others whenever possible. Whether it's as small as opening the door for someone or as big as doing yard work for an elderly or injured neighbor, always look out for what you can do for others. If you've ever helped someone with something, you know that it gives you a good feeling and often makes the other person happier. Acting with kindness is extremely important. In order to fulfill all these promises in the Scout Oath, you need to take good care of yourself. Maintaining good fitness, eating a well-balanced diet, getting enough sleep, and challenging your brain all help to keep yourself in good health and spirits. To be morally straight means to do what is right, even when it might be difficult or inconvenient for you. Next is the Scout Law. The Scout Law is a list of 12 principles, or points, that each scout learns. The Scout Law goes like this. A scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Whew, that's a lot of points. Let's find out what they mean. To be trustworthy is to tell the truth always. If you are trustworthy, you are an honest person that people can depend on to get things done. To be loyal is to stick together with your friends and family, even when they may be struggling with hardship. Loyalty is supporting the people around you as much as you can through thick and thin. As we said in the Scout Oath, being helpful means you are always willing to do something nice for somebody else, even if you don't get any kind of reward from doing it. To be friendly is to be nice, not only to your friends and people you know, but also to people you don't. If you're friendly, you can make friends with and get along with most anybody, no matter what they look like, what they believe, or where they're from. Courteous is really just a fancy word for polite. To be courteous is to be respectful of others, no matter who they are. It means to say please and thank you, and to have other good manners. This one's pretty easy. Be nice to the people around you. Even if you are grumpy or having a bad day, try to remember that others could be having a bad day too, and taking out your grumpiness on them doesn't solve anything. Try to be kind to everyone you meet. At your age, there are many people that tell you what to do, like your mom, your dad, and the staff right here at the Boys and Girls Club. Obedience means to follow the rules and the laws from these people in charge of you, as well as the government. If you think a rule or law is unfair, do what you can to change it in a proper and orderly way. Cheerfulness is an especially important trait. If you can brighten up someone else's day by smiling at them, it's a day well spent. But being cheerful doesn't mean you're always happy. It's okay to be sad sometimes. When you get sad, try to look for the positive things in your life that you can be more cheerful about. Thriftiness is being smart with how you spend your time, money, and resources. It's important to not use more of anything than you need. If you look for the places where you can save your time, money, and resources, you'll have more of them and they'll last longer. To be brave doesn't mean that you're never scared of anything. Everybody gets scared, and that's okay. Being brave means that when you're faced with something that scares you, you find the courage to confront it and solve whatever problem you might come across. To be clean, you should make sure to take care of your hygiene by doing things like brushing your teeth, washing your hands, and taking showers or baths. But being clean also means to be morally clean. Try to keep your language, actions, and thoughts clean as well. To be reverent means to be faithful to your religion and to do what your faith asks you to do. If you're not part of a religion, you can still be reverent by respecting the religious beliefs of others. The Scout Oath and Law have a lot of information in them, but don't worry, you don't need to remember all of it. But if you do remember one thing, I hope it's that no matter who you are, there are plenty of positive things that you can learn from scouting, even if you never become a scout. In the following videos in this series, we'll get to learn some of those things together. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.